This isn't going to be much of a review, but I want to quickly mention real quick that Zelina Vega is the new Women's United States Champion, and I want to say congratulations to her. And we also have the return of the man that was never truly good and the man that was never truly evil, being Aleister Black. Pretty cool to see him back. I was always a fan of him. Really nice to see him again. And obviously Cena and Orton's going to be kickstarting their rivalry, which I thought that was pretty good. And also a pretty decently solid TLC match. And we now have a NXT call-up being in Fraxium. I'm actually quite intrigued by that for sure. But other than that, this video has nothing to do with anything about SmackDown. In this video, I'm going to be going over my usual time. This is kind of my usual time. Now, WWE has not announced a WWE draft yet, but I'm going to just assume we'll be getting a draft pretty soon. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this draft, this is just, again, me fantasizing my ideal brand split, that I think my ideal brand split, because I tend to do this every year. Whenever we get close to a brand split, or when a brand split comes around, I'll kind of give my ideal of what I would want to do when the brand split comes around. But I'm starting to feel like the last 2 years when they did the brand split under Triple H, they haven't been very important. And the main reason why is because Triple H has made it very clear he's not really into the whole WWE draft. He's never really been a major fan of the brand split. Tom Colohue, one of the reporters I rely on that I heavily rely on when he gives out his information, has basically said that Triple H is not a fan of the brand split, and you can easily tell when it comes to how he handles the brand splits over the last 2 years since he has taken over. He has not done a really good job of making these brand splits feel important, and he hasn't. And also, if you notice how he has superstars from opposing brands just turn up on these shows, like, you know, like he has like opposing wrestlers turning up on opposite shows, like how Jimmy Uso turns up on Raw, like how Roman Reigns turns up on Raw even though he's a SmackDown wrestler, you know, like how Rhea Ripley was turning up on SmackDown even though she's on Raw, and all that kind of stuff. Like, him doing that is just a way to ruin the brand split. And secondly, they just recently did a whole transfer system. They also recently just did a whole transfer system where some superstars changed, like Zelina Vega went to SmackDown, AJ Styles went to Raw, Logan Paul went to Raw, and etc., etc. Drew McIntyre to SmackDown, etc., etc. Damian Priest to SmackDown and all that. So if they are going to do another brand split, it kind of renders the whole transfer thing they did kind of useless. It kind of renders that useless as well, because then you're switching people again. But I'm going to be doing another brand split, another draft, you know, just because I like doing them and I like fantasizing. I feel like WWE will be doing another one very, very soon. If they are going to do one again very, very soon, this will be my ideal brand change. So this is just me fantasy booking here. Don't take this too seriously. This is all just my idea on what I think Triple H should do when he does do another draft. But even if he does do another draft, it's not really going to matter, because again, the guy likes to just not care about the brand split at all. So one of the big changes I would make is I would move Gunther to Friday Night SmackDown, and I think Gunther could use a change, but I could also see them keeping him on Monday Night Raw because he's a big name. Also, I'm not going to be moving champions. The reason why is because if WWE are going to do another brand split, I can just see them doing the exact same thing they did last year. If they are going to do one, I can just see them doing the same thing, where the champions are protected, no champion gets changed, and all that. So, I just think that's the direction they will go. If they are going to do another brand split, I could just see them doing that again. And so, even though I don't like the idea of champions being protected, I think champions should also be eligible for the draft because it will make the draft more interesting. I'm just going to go by the rule of the champions being protected because, again, this is just how I think WWE will handle it if they are going to do another draft again. So I would move Gunther to SmackDown because I think, giving him a nice change of scenery and having him challenge for the WWE Championship, imagine him versus John Cena would be pretty cool. Or him, or even Gunther in the United States Championship scene. But again, Gunther does need to step away from championships for a while. I would also move all of American-made Chad Gable and Un Grande Americano, because, they're the same guy. The Creed brothers and Ivy Nile all to SmackDown. I would move all of them over to SmackDown because I think they would be, considering how awesome the tag team division is right now with so many great tag teams they have over there, I think they would be a great addition. I think they would make an awesome addition to that SmackDown tag team division. And also, again, they would also benefit well from a change of scenery. I would also move Ludwig Kaiser over to SmackDown as well. Because, again, Tiffany Stratton won't move, so I can kind of see them putting Ludwig on SmackDown to be on the same show as, to be on the exact same show. And I would also move, I would also move, other than Ivy Nile, let's go to some of the women. Some of the women I would move to SmackDown. I would move Dakota Kai to SmackDown. It's time to put an end to Damage Control. I'm just going to be completely honest. I don't care about Damage Control anymore. I don't understand why Damage Control is even still a thing. I think moving Dakota Kai to SmackDown as a solo wrestler would be great for her. And I know Kairi and Asuka will both be coming back soon. They can stay together as a tag team as the Kabuki Warriors. It's time to put an end to Damage Control, I think. I think it's time to put an end to Damage Control. There's really no reason for Damage Control to remain a thing. And the headliner and the headlining change I would make to SmackDown for the women's division is none other than Mommy herself, Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea needs a change of scenery. I truly believe Rhea just needs to make a change to SmackDown, get her off Monday Night Raw, and also it'll get her away from Liv Morgan, it will get her away from Io, because again, champions are protected, Liv Morgan can stay on Raw and all that. That's fine. I think Rhea needs to change of scenery more because, again, the Judgment Day are obviously just never going to leave Monday Night Raw ever. Judgment Day are going to be permanent members of the Monday Night Raw brand. The only way the Judgment Day will ever move to other brands is when the faction officially ends, and then they change people. That's really the only time. So yeah, I think Rhea Ripley would make a good suitable change over to the SmackDown brand. And also, because I mentioned American Made, that would also mean Ivy Nile would also be a great move over to SmackDown. And considering that SmackDown has the US titles, I think Ivy Nile and Chad Gable would make great challenges for the representation of the United States Championships as well. As for call-ups, I would add Roxanne Perez to the Monday Night Raw roster because A, it's her time to get called up. And I know people like to say, well, she's been called up since January. In my opinion, she is not officially called up until she's no longer on the NXT roster page. Because look at Axiom and Nathan Fraser. They are now on the SmackDown roster page, and they are now actively listed as SmackDown wrestlers. To me, Roxanne Perez is not officially called up until she's on the main roster page. Until she's on the main roster page and has nothing to do with NXT anymore, only then I will officially say she is officially called up. I would also call up Cora Jade, and I would also put her on Monday Night Raw as well, just so then they can actually start their feud. Now, some people may think it wouldn't make sense, because again, it does make sense. Just because they're both on Raw now doesn't mean you can't just ignore the past. Because remember when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had their feud when they first got called up in 2016, and they basically feuded over what happened in NXT? You can do the same thing there with Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Because to me, it just doesn't make sense for Roxanne and Cora Jade to come together just for that random-ass tag team match at Stand and Deliver. Roxanne then turns on Cora, abandons her, leaves her to get beat up in that tag team match. And then the following week on NXT, Cora Jade doesn't come out to get her revenge. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. That's such silly booking right there. I think they really should have just had Cora Jade get involved there. But again, apparently in the landscape of Shawn Michaels and Triple H, nothing makes sense. So I would put both Roxanne and Cora both on the Raw brand via call-up, and probably just have them feud. Just finally have them feud from there. And when it comes to other call-ups, I could probably either see Trick Williams or Ethan Page on the Monday Night Raw brand as well. So now we're going to be moving down to the SmackDown page, and I'm not going to be including Aleister Black and Nathan Fraser and Axiom. I'm not going to be including them because they were just called up. Since they were just called up, I am not going to be including them in this. So here are the So these are the SmackDown superstars I would put on Monday Night Raw. I would put DIY and Candice LeRae on Monday Night Raw. The biggest reason is, well, A, Raw needs some competitive tag teams. I think DIY making the move from SmackDown to Raw would be great, and it would give Raw a competitive team. It will give Raw competitive teams. SmackDown may have a great tag team division right now, but I think Raw also needs a great tag team division as well. Because on the Raw side, they've only got Alpha Academy, Otis and Tozawa. They've got American Made, who are heels. They've got Waller and Theory, who are heels. I don't know if New Catch Republic are back together. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. And technically the Judgment Day and the LWO. That's about 5 teams. And really not many of them compete for the tag team titles anyway. So I think DIY would be a good team to move to Monday Night Raw. I think they would be a great addition to the Monday Night Raw brand. I would also move Pretty Deadly to Monday Night Raw as well, because again, they're useless. I don't really see the reason for them. And well, actually, no, not Pretty Deadly. I would or hang on. Either Pretty Deadly or Los Garza. One of those two. I would move one of those two. But actually, I don't know, man. I don't know. One of those two teams. Well, it could be one of those two. Could go to Raw as well. I've already said Pretty Deadly, so I guess I'll just stick with Pretty Deadly. They can go over to Monday Night Raw, because, yeah, they can go over to Monday Night Raw as well. I would also put Andrade on Monday Night Raw. I would also put Andrade on Monday Night Raw as well, because I think he would be a great mid-carder for the IC Championship. I would also move Jimmy Uso to Monday Night Raw. Put him on the same brand as Jay, considering they want to talk about how they're back together. And no, I will not be moving Naomi to Monday Night Raw as well. If Ludwig Kaiser and Tiffany Stratton can be on separate brands and do their own thing on separate brands, then I think Naomi and Jimmy Uso can do that exact same thing as well. And also, one other change, there's a couple of other changes to Monday Night Raw I could do as well. Like, I could also see LA Knight moving off to Monday Night Raw. I would put Rey Fenix on Monday Night Raw, mainly because you can reunite him and Penta together to form the Lucha Brothers, and then you can have the Lucha Brothers together on Raw, becoming the top tier tag team, the face of the Raw tag team division as well. You could also put Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw as well. You can also put, again, all of Legado on Monday Night Raw if you really wanted to. That would even include Santos Escobar and Los Garza. Yeah, there's a lot of potential changes there you can really do here with Monday Night Raw. And also, when it comes to SmackDown, outside of Alexa Bliss, I would put Chelsea Green and her entire cabinet over on Monday Night Raw because, again, they're pretty boring as well. They're pretty boring. And also, maybe Charlotte Flair I could also see being on Monday Night Raw as well, because apparently people seem to think that is the direction they're going to go. As for call-ups, again, I would have said Fraxium to get called up because I felt like they did everything in NXT anyway. But as when it comes to women, that's actually really tough. That's actually really tough. I would probably call up Chemical X, all three. That also includes Shotzi. I'd bring Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum up to the main roster. I'd bring them up. I would also bring up Tony D'Angelo, since there's rumors of him coming up. And again, as I said before, Trick Williams and Ethan Page. I would put Trick Williams on Raw. I would put Ethan Page on SmackDown. And maybe a Chemical X, I said them. They can be on SmackDown. Gigi, Tatum, Shotzi. I'd probably even call up Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley and JC Jane. I wouldn't, and that other girl, Jasmine, I'd probably bring them up too. Because I think they're all ready. I think, especially Fallon Henley and JC Jane. They're more than ready for the main roster. I'd bring them up too. And who else from the men's division could also get called up? I guess Shawn Spears, if they want to bring him up. But of course, he's in a faction. But I don't think they'd call up his faction. So, yeah, that's pretty much my idea for a... that's pretty much my ideal brand split I would really go with. That's really my ideal brand split I would go with. I know some of you are surprised I didn't say Julia or Stephanie Vaquer being called up, mainly because I don't think they will get called up just yet. I think they'll probably get called up. I can see them getting called up pretty soon. And I know some of you may also be surprised I didn't say Cody Rhodes to Monday Night Raw either. Mainly because I feel like SmackDown really do need some big names. But again, this is just all a fantasy idea draft I have. It's pretty cool. I think I'm pretty happy with the fantasy ideas I came up with. But again, it seems pointless. And again, it seems pointless because Triple H doesn't show any love or care to the brand split anyway. He doesn't show any love or care to the brand split anyway because, again, even if he does do a draft, he's still going to have people from other brands turn up on other brands. So to me, it really doesn't matter. And again, I could also see them protecting the champions. So that's why I didn't bother including the champions in this video. Be sure to let me know if you agree with a lot of the people I suggested to get to change brands. And let me know who you would like to see change brands as well. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you all in the next video.